Hello everyone, my name is Leanza Morgan. This semester I was placed with the Humane Society of Washington County to do my service hours. They're a nonprofit organization dedicated to the welfare of all animals. Their mission is to raise funds and awareness to save, protect, and advance the lives of animals in Washington County. The root cause of the population they serve is that there are so many animals in Washington County without forever homes. This includes not only strays, but also those animals that they have in foster care. The Humane Society is absolutely no kill, unlike many other shelters, so they keep their animals in foster care for as long as they need to. Hopefully, this is until they find their forever home, but unfortunately, is sometimes due to an untimely death that cannot be prevented because they also take in animals that have disabilities or diseases that need to be cured. One example of this is when I first started volunteering there, they had taken in a group of feral cats. There were about 27 of them, and one of them had feline HIV. They were doing all that they could to help get this animal back to health and to be able to put her up for adoption. They did end up finding her a foster home, and I believe that she's still there. She hasn't been adopted yet, and they are still working on finding some help with her. They also have pet owners. They also help pet owners with vaccinations and spaying or neutering their animals however they can. They receive no funding from the public or from the government, and they work solely on grants, fundraisers, donations, membership funds, private funding, and the money that they get from adoptions. Um, their funds are sufficient enough to keep them going for the time being, but they can never have enough donations. They only have 3 staff members, and the rest of the people involved are strictly volunteers. They're very heavily volunteer oriented. A lot of their donations come in the form of spare dog food or toys or cat food or cat litter or some extra blankets for the animals. Um, Everything they receive helps, even if it is something like that. If they had a little extra funds, the agency would love to use them towards getting more animals into foster care and helping spay or neuter those animals. They're very firm believers in spaying and neutering to help the population of stray animals stay at a minimum. Many times a family will have a pet that they love, but when the pet has babies, they're unable to keep them. And unfortunately, these babies many times end up at a shelter or even worse on the street. Going into my service hours this semester, I was under the impression that I would be volunteering at the animal shelter. However, I have since come to learn that the Humane Society and the animal shelter are not affiliated with one another. They do lean on each other, but while the Humane Society is strictly no kill and they put all their animals into foster care, the organization of the animal shelter is focused more on no kill or more on getting animals off the street, which is, of course, a phenomenal mission as well. I was actually glad I got the opportunity to volunteer with the Humane Society. It allowed me to feel more connected to my community, and like I said before, taught me that they are a different organization. They're not affiliated with one another. The Humane Society does some amazing work within the community. For example, their adoption events that they do at PetSmart every 2 weeks, and their annual event Barktoberfest, which I got the opportunity to assist with. It was a free event that took place at Founders Park, and it was basically this big event where all the dog owners in Johnson City could come together and have a good night together. They had a costume contest and a few other activities for the dogs, like ring toss or the puppy bowl, where they showcased a group of puppies that they had up for adoptions, as well as food vendors for everyone. It was a great atmosphere all around to be able to see the participants having such a great time and bonding over something as simple as owning a dog. Ultimately, I'm grateful for my service experience that I got this semester. I met some amazing people and got to learn about a wonderful organization that strives towards the greater good of the community out of the goodness of their heart. The only thing that I would change is that I would get even more involved and help reach out to potential volunteers. I think so many people are unaware of this organization in the community, but if they knew about it, they would be more than happy to help. Um, Also, I feel that there are a handful of people that don't know that this organization exists. They simply think that we only have the animal shelter and they don't know that it's different. But if they knew about it, they would be interested in volunteering. I would love to get the word out there and recruit even more people for this amazing mission.